Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm Melissa. I'm gonna have to turn that air stone off. Do you hear how loud it is? I have an air stone in Monstera Devil that's rehabbing. Okay, that's better. It's a lot more quiet. So for today's video, I'm not doing any plant care. I am burnt out on plant care this week and I need like a chatty video, something that's easy to film and edit for me. So I was like, you know what, let me do a favorites video. I haven't filmed one in a long time. And so I was going around and I'm like, ooh, this plant I've really been loving lately, this one, and then majority of the list was Alocasia. So I'm like, you know what, let me just make this a dedicated Alocasia favorites. And then I could not choose because I have just so many that I'm loving right now. So I'm like, you know what, let me pick 5 that I'm loving. And then I can also pick 5 that are not doing so hot. So I think that's what I'll do, is just mix it up. We'll start with one that's doing really well and one that I've been loving and maybe one that is kind of like a rehab type situation. So I'll grab the first one and we'll get started. Up first is Alocasia Pink Poly. And like I said, I've had her for probably a year now. I actually have a video where I grew this one and my pink Amazonicas out. I love my Amazonicas too. I've been obsessed with them, but I'm not going to show my Amazonicas because I feel like I've been more drawn to this one lately. So I'll feature her for today's video. So she was grown out from a small pup and she's one of my favorite Alocasia and easiest. And I feel like she has really good variegation, really good color. And she's currently blooming. So if you see that white little baggie here, I attempted pollination on her a couple nights ago. I caught the inflorescence opening at, I hope, the perfect time. And I did try pollinating her with Alocasia Michaelidziana. So my Michaelidziana is kind of throwing a bit of a fit lately. It's been blooming like crazy. And the blooms are very big and they have a lot of pollen. And so I took fresh Michaelidziana pollen and attempted pollination and we'll see what happens. I just have the little baggie kind of protecting the inflow here. The female phase is not very long, so I don't know if I caught it, but I'm hoping so because that would be cool if I pollinated her and I could grow out some babies from that cross-pollination. I'm not keeping my hopes up though because I feel like it's probably not going to be successful, but we'll see what happens. I just did that a couple days ago, like I said, so I'm going to give it a couple months and see if the inflow just dies off or if it produces berries. She was actually on my list to go ahead and do some corm digging and upsize and repot and everything. And I don't know why I didn't think about that before I attempted the pollination, because now I'm going to have to wait. She has a little cutie corm down here that has sprouted right there. So I know she's got some corms, but I really don't want to disturb her. She's very rooted in here. I mean, technically she could stay in here a while, but I do see, yeah, I do see some corms. So I might wait on her unless there's any I could like dig around the top and see if there's any I could like pull off without disturbing her, but I don't want to repot her since I just attempted pollination. I feel like I got really lucky with the genetics on this plant, and I have grown out several of her corms and I feel like they've come in with pretty good color. And what I love is I love how the petioles are variegated too. There's like pink striping on the petiole. I don't know if that's gonna pick up or not. And the blooms are variegated too, which is kind of cool that the blooms are variegated like that. You can see the green and white. I grow most of my Alocasia in semi-hydro. This is my, I call it my more dense version. My newer Alocasias are being potted into a DIY mix with added perlite for aeration, and I like that so much better. So that's going to be my new pond mix from now on. So ones that are in the more dense mix, I'll eventually like put them into the more aerated mix. Also, you guys, because I gotta laugh, I don't know what's come over me with Alocasia lately. I'm gonna make a video on all the new Alocasias I've acquired in the past, I wouldn't even say month, I would say last 2 weeks. I have been going crazy. I've always loved Alocasia. They've always had a special place in my heart. I love growing them. They're beautiful plants and I have been like obsessed, like not even obsessed. Obsessed isn't the right word. I've gone crazy. I literally have, and I know I've gone crazy. Like I know it's a problem, um, but I just cannot stop acquiring, buying new alocasia. I probably have like 15 new alocasia. I'm not joking. Between small pups and corms I've gotten, and I'm still looking for alocasia, and I've put so many on my wish list. This plant room is going to turn into an alocasia room. I can see that happening in the future. So yeah, I will do a little haul at some point. Like I said, a lot of them are corms. Well, I would say like 5 or 6 of them are corms, so they need to sprout and everything. But I have fallen down the rabbit hole really hard with them. Look at the striping on that. The variegation, that's really pretty. So yeah, this is my pink poly and I love her, and we'll see what happens with the inflorescence. Okay, we're gonna start with a not so good alocasia. I'm actually digging into the trash can I have in here because I was watering in here last night and I'm like, I am going to go ahead and behead this alocasia. Okay, I have the beheaded, the beheaded parts right here. This is one that I'm most likely just going to toss out of my collection. This is my pink cuprea, but it's the tissue culture one that I got, and this is all that's left. So yeah, I went last night and beheaded her. I just cut the top off because she went full elbow on me. This was like one of the last remaining leaves that obviously was yellowing. It had a little bit of green, not a lot. And then this is what I cut off last night. You can see the pink, and this was like her third all pink leaf in a row. The leaf is still pretty nice after being clipped for 24 hours. So yeah, I don't know if a new shoot will, a new growth point will emerge with some green, but we'll see. I'm just going to hang on to it and see what happens. I have it in stratum and perlite, and then I labeled it, and then I just have a random cup over it like that just to hold in some extra humidity. If I notice molding, I'll just have to provide more airflow. And I have it sitting in my Mills bowl right there. It was very sad to chop this plant, but it happens sometimes. And yeah, that's a sad update with this guy. I don't have high hopes, but you never know. We'll see what comes in. So yeah, that is that one. Whoops, I forgot to put my little crocheted poly back on the shelf beside her. I got this recently from somebody's Etsy shop. They crocheted this, and it's so beautiful. Look at that. That is talent right there. I'm amazed that people can crochet and do stuff like this. Okay, next up is, again, one of my favorites right now. It's my pink shanteeri eye or something like that. And mine is a very, very, very pink. Her newest leaf is all pink. This is my like third all pink leaf, not in a row, but she spits a lot of full pink, which makes me nervous. She does have a new leaf on the way, which I don't think will be full pink, but she is so, so pretty. My favorite leaf on her is actually this one here. I love all the tones to that leaf. And I love the like wavy edges, the ruffling. And the stem is very, very pink, which again makes me anxious. On the all pink leaf, it's pretty much all pink, but some of these other ones, you can actually see the striping on the stem there. So cool. And then the backside, I always forget to show the backside of the leaves. Sometimes I feel like the backside is even more pretty than the front side because look at that dark pink veining. Like, come on. So pretty. And I love like chunky sectoral variegation. So this leaf is to die for, of course. She's been a pretty easy alocasia for me. It took her a little bit to get started. From when I got her as like a pup size. This oldest leaf is on its way out. That one there. And then that one. And then I do have a new one coming in here. I just filled up her reservoir last night, and she's in a pretty tiny pot. I feel like I would like to get her upsized as well and check for corms again. I don't like to check for corms that often because I like seeing my alocasia get big and mature, and I don't like to disturb them as much because I feel like if you go messing in here, messing with the roots, it just sets them back a little bit, or it can stress them. But obviously I like corm digging and finding corms and growing baby plants out. And that's why sometimes I get suckered in, well, I'll just start a second mother plant and then I can have two, but then I don't have the space for all the plants if I decide to keep two of certain ones. But I feel like I kind of want to keep two of her because she's really pretty. I feel like she's just so unique and it's so pink and so pretty. Look at the backside of the all pink leaf. Like, come on, look at that. Gorgina. I'm gonna do an alocasia care day at some point and go corm digging, and I'll film that. I'll probably do a few of my mother plants. We'll see if I want to do her again. I actually bought some new pots. I really like these self-watering. I don't think they make these certain kind anymore, but if you do a search for clear self-watering, they might come up. But I really like the inner pot. I like how small it is. And I like that you can actually leave a decent amount of water. I love these. These are ideal, but I just wish this was not clear because of the algae growth. But I can't find ones that aren't clear that have this is the perfect size, maybe just a little bit bigger. And I love the Dexeter self-watering pots on Amazon, that brand. But let me show you the smallest size that they make, I think, is this, which is like a 6x7, and it's too big. I actually messaged them on Amazon a few weeks ago. I'm like, hey, I love your pots, but if you ever make a smaller self-watering pot, I gave them the size of lechuza because I actually bought some lechuza ones that I'm going to, I think, upsize some of these into. I gave them the dimensions. I'm like, I would buy so many of these. I feel like they would sell really well, just like FYI. They actually responded very quickly within like an hour, and they said that they pointed me to this pot on their site. But it's very big. Like the inner pot is very big. So hopefully they come out with a smaller pot like this because I would buy them. I feel like that's my struggle. This is one of the pink Amazonicas. I feel like that's my struggle with pots, is that the inner pot is not long enough. And that's what I need for alocasia. But yeah, this is the pink Shan. I love her, and one of my favorites. She lives in the Millsbow right here. And the poly is at my window in front of me, the south window. But she still fits in my cabinet, so she's gonna go back in there. Next up on the list is one that I'm kind of struggling with. Not really struggling. I haven't had this for this long, this plant, but I can tell it's stubborn for me, and I'm kind of annoyed by it. So this is it's supposed to be an Aslani pink, and I got this as a corm, and so this has sprouted from a corm. It's lost its original 2-3 leaves, and it has 2 currently. This one is very, very pretty, but it's not very big, you see. And this one kind of looks like it might be on its way out, but it's not sizing up very quickly. I've had it in stratum and perlite for a while, and I've actually refreshed this as well. It might be too big of a container, so I might downsize the container. But it seems to spit out a leaf and then it's fine, and then it spits out another leaf, and it does what alocasias do sometimes, it yellows off the oldest leaf. So I'm not sure exactly what these guys prefer. I still have my regular one. I had one prop of it left, and so I kept it back just to hang on to it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to downsize the regular one out of my collection. And that one was, even the non-variegated was one that I kind of struggled with. So it's not surprising me that the variegated version is hard as well to grow. So I think that's the plan. I'm going to put it into a smaller pot, and right now it's currently sitting in the Millsbow, so I feel like the light is okay, but I'm wondering if it might need more humidity. I actually had this over it getting more humidity, but I think it stayed more too humid. So what I might do is I could do this again and poke some holes just to hopefully maybe the higher humidity might give it a little boost. But yeah, this guy's been a little bit hard for me to grow, and I've had this corm for a while. So yeah, definitely a more finicky one so far for me. Next up is a Maharani elbow, and one that I just, chef's kiss. I love this cute little plant. I love that it's small, but it's so variegated and so pretty, and I love this thing. It's just, come on, look at that. Look at this. Absolutely stunning, stunning, stunning plant. I love how stark white it is when the leaf hardens off. Like, come on, it's so pretty. I've had this alocasia for quite a bit. It lives in my Millsbow as well, and it's taken a while to size up for me. But now that it's finally growing more steadily, it's doing better. Again, it's in one of these small self-watering pots. I had checked for corms on this one maybe once this year. Again, most of my alocasia are in the dense pond, but any new ones that I get, I'm mixing in my new ones. So that's kind of why I want to repot some of these, is to aerate the pond a bit more so that I don't get rot. And I actually bought some, I had a suggestion on my Monstera Devil video about adding like HydroGuard or something to help with rot. So I might do that. I might look into that. And I don't have a lot of rot in pond, but sometimes I do. But I just attribute it to the mix being a little bit too dense and staying too wet. So I'm hoping the addition of the perlite definitely helps with my new alocasia. And not that this guy is struggling or anything. I do feel like I would like to aerate it a bit more. But yeah, Maharani elbow, every leaf is beautiful. It has a new leaf here. I had one leaf that came in with some purple tones. I think it faded. Maybe it was this leaf. I don't remember. But it can come in with like a purple hue color, and it's so pretty. Actually, the underside, you can kind of see it on the back side of the leaf. Do you see the purple a little bit? So pretty, right? It's crazy because that's a new leaf coming in, and then it's just now all like unfurling this one. It's definitely growing fast. I have this one on the top shelf in there, so it gets really good light. That's my favorite leaf. Like, that is so pretty. It's still new too. It's not like fully hardened off yet. It's so cute. Like, look how cute and little this one is. I want the Aria version. I want like the yellow one. And I recently got a mellow elbow, and it's in there, and I love it too because it's even smaller and like the texture is even more. So now I want like all the colors. It's just so stinking cute. Like, how could you not love this thing? Adorable. Oh no, someone pulled up out front. I think they're gonna start mowing the neighbor's yard. It might get loud with the mowers. I need to speed this up. Next up is a Watsoniana glossy pink elbow. It was a TC deflask September of last year. And it's kind of struggled ever since I set it up and everything. It's lost a lot of the like smaller leaves, and this one here is on its way out. But it's like coming in with very muted variegation, like that here, and this one here. And the newest one is reverted. It's all green. But it's just not the happiest. It's not really rooting that well either. That's my issue. Was I wanted to move it to semi-hydro, but it didn't really have enough roots, so I left it in the mix that I grew it in. And I recently moved it into the cabinet in front of me, so it's getting more humidity. So I'm hoping it being in a different location, because it was in the Redsta in the other room for a while. But I'm hoping the new location, maybe it'll grow better and do better. Like, this new leaf seems sturdier and thicker than the rest of these like floppy leaves. It's definitely not like doing terrible, but I feel like it's not really doing the best. So I might have to like I might put this guy back in stratum and perlite and just let it root for a bit and see how it does. But if it's reverted, then that's kind of sad because the newest leaf is all green. But yeah, this one I would consider kind of like a rehab now. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll hang on to it, but we'll see how it does here. Next up is another favorite, and that is this cutie here. This is one of my variegated cupreas. The pink one is trying to croak again. So I'm going to show you this one. This is the latte variegation. And this one is doing a lot better. And I love, 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 love the color. It's not like Aria variegation. It's definitely more peachy tan tones, I guess, with that latte name, but I just adore it so much. That, and then the newest leaf is pretty variegated. The color takes quite a bit to burn in, but I can tell it's getting a little bit more big. Here's some of the other leaves on this one. Look how cute that one is. And then it's got that one. It's lost some of its other leaves, and then I have another new one on the way. This one is definitely a lot more happy than the pink one. This one's pretty rooted. Like I can tell an Alocasia's root system is happy if I can't see it, if I like hold it and it's like stuck. It doesn't like try to come up or anything. I have this one, I took it out of pond and it's in like a tree fern, perlite, cocoa coir mix. And these guys, like in my experience so far of having it, they like a lot of airflow. And I felt like it could have been the pond too, because my pond, again, it was before I started adding the perlite in to make it more airy. I think it was just staying too dense for the root system. Would I love to grow this in semi-hydro? Yes, but I'm scared to move it out of this mix because it's happy. I'm just pulling off the crispies because I'm obsessed with doing that. But yeah, I love variegated cupreas. I just dream of having these big in my collection, especially the pink one. But I really like the latte version. So pretty and it's so cute. My regular cuprea is on top of my cabinet there. Right up there. I had restarted that one. But it's one of my favorite alocasias. I love the original and obviously I love the variegated as well. Just such a cool alocasia. And the backside of this one is really pretty too. It has like more pink tones on the backside of the leaf. But yeah, this little cutie has been a favorite lately and I can't wait to see it grow and get bigger. I'm gonna leave it in this pot for a while. I don't really see any roots out of the bottom or anything yet, so even though it's a small pot, I just have to be on time with watering. These little tiny pots dry out so quickly, but I don't want to like overwhelm the root system and upsize it too quickly or anything, but I'll see how it goes. But this one is definitely happy and I love him. He's so cute. Okay, up next is one that is a struggle. I think what I'll do is show you the two struggles next and then save my most favorite alocasia right now very last. This one here is my Longiloba purple, and this has always been a finicky alocasia for me ever since I got it. It's not doing bad, it's just not, I just quite haven't figured out how to grow this guy. I've had this guy in pond, I took it out of pond. It's currently in like a tree fern, the same like tree fern perlite mix. It's not that rooted, like I can lift up and he's not that rooted in here. I moved him recently to more humidity, so he's in the Millsville wide in front of me. He was in my cabinet for a while, so I'm like, let me move him to more humidity and see if he likes that better. And again, like the stems, like they look happy, they're firm, they're not droopy. Definitely a slow grower for me. It doesn't push out leaves often. I am getting a new spike though right here. There's like a tiny little white start of a new leaf coming in. So I think I'm gonna get a new leaf very soon. It makes me anxious that it's not that rooted in here yet. I do have another corm of this one that is sprouting, but even the corms take a while to sprout for me. I haven't decided if I want to try and grow this one back in semi-hydro. I kind of want to and put it in the more airy pond mix, but I'm nervous. I think I'm gonna leave him for now, see how he looks after this new leaf comes in, and if he does fine, if he gets stronger, grows more roots, then I'll just leave him in this mix. I love the daggery alocasia look too. Like this one kind of reminds me of the heterophylla. It's just more unique than the round alocasia. So I'm crossing my fingers it does well here. It's just, yeah, it needs to root more, and I'll see how this new leaf looks. Maybe it'll establish itself in here because, again, I moved it from there to here not that long ago, so I think it's probably still adjusting to the higher humidity. But I can't wait. I want this guy to get so big. I want like those big, beautiful leaves. I do notice that it's growing up a little bit. There's some roots that are coming out. So I might add a little bit more substrate on top so that those beginning roots can start rooting down into the mix. Do you see that there? So the next time I'm watering, I might do that. I might just throw a little extra on top. But yeah, hoping I get some good growth here, crossing my fingers. I really want to grow this alocasia. So we'll see. We'll see how it does. All right, the next plant on the rehab is my fried egg. I have two that are growing back from my original mother plants that were beautiful at one point. They have been struggling for like a year now, and I don't know what the issue is. This one I recently moved to the Millsbo in front of me for more humidity. I can get this guy to grow well in stratum and perlite and at root, but then it dries out so quickly that I get a lot of underwatering stress and it drops leaves. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do and try again is again, take it out of the dense pond because I don't think it likes it, put it back in stratum and perlite and let it root up and then transfer it to an airy pond mix. I do have another one that's in the other room that is bigger. I recently put that one in stratum and perlite and I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm hoping they can kind of bounce back here because I love like regular Watsoniana, and of course the variegated fried egg is so pretty. This one isn't as white as the other one. The other one's pretty white. This one's kind of coming in with some muted tones. I guess the quorum that I decided to keep is just throwing more of those minty colors. But yeah, this I can lift up. It's not that rooted. This pot is way too big for this plant. Way too big. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, that I'm going to take out of here again, put in stratum perlite, and then the same thing with the other one. Once that one grows more, I will move it into pond. But hopefully I can get my beautiful fried egg back because it was so beautiful at one point. I really loved it. And it's been like a year of me trying to grow it back and it's been so freaking stubborn. So yeah, that is the story with fried egg. Definitely a finicky alocasia. So yeah, fingers crossed for these guys. And last but not least is the alocasia that I've been most obsessed with recently. It's a repeat alocasia purchase, and I feel like the genetics on mine is going to be so good. It is none other than Regal Shield's Elbow. And look at how beautiful. I feel like I just potted her with you guys not that long ago. It was in a recent video. And she's growing so fast. I knew she would take off because I was worried I had put her in like too big of a pot. But no, she's very happy and rooting like crazy. Now this is the pond that is more airy that I was mentioning. It has a bunch of perlite in there. And so that's what I'm going to mix for my alocasias from now on. It's just like the DIY plus the added perlite. But it is rooting like crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts corming soon, honestly. I'm gonna be tempted to grow a second mother plant out, but these guys get big. I have to think about that, like space and everything. But these were the 3 original leaves. This one's yellowing a little bit. That one's holding on still. That one looks good, and that one still looks good. It's upright, it's very happy. And then this one was the first leaf in my care. I think it was pretty low variegation. And then it spit this leaf out, which I'm like, ah. And this is pretty new. Like this came out not that long ago. And look at the backside. Look at that like green on green tone. Isn't that pretty? But that like white section there. Oh. And then the newest leaf is very marbly. I love like the waviness mine is doing too. Do you see that? Regal Shield has always been one of my, oh, this leaf is going. Do you see? I like moved it. It's going a little bit. Is it still attached? No, I think I'm going to go ahead and pluck this. It's like coming off. Do you see? Yeah. Leaf is gone. But Regal Shields, the original, was my very first alocasia back in the day. That and my black velvet. I've always loved alocasia. And then it's always been a dream to have like a beautiful variegated Regal Shields. And then the original one, the original mother reverted, and her offspring, I haven't found one to come in. I kept 2 of her offspring back to grow out and they both reverted. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna get new genetics because maybe it's a genetics issue. And so I got this one randomly. It was just like a random purchase, a random plant that I came across for sale. And I think it's going to be really good. I don't think she doesn't appear to be reverting. And the variegation on the stem is pretty good too. You can see the white. I feel like the variegation on these can go like too white, like very elbow. I've seen like super white plants and then obviously revert. And then I've been looking for like a good balanced one, and I feel like this one is really good. At least I'm hoping so, but she's so pretty. I love her. Like those leaves are so pretty. I kind of need to get her sitting down in the pot a little bit. She's a little loose up here, but she's definitely got a lot of roots going on. I think I potted her up a little high, but she definitely needs to root a lot more. She's going to stay in here for a while. But yeah, that's the pond mix with the perlite. You can see. I really like it. It's super aerated. Do you see that? But yes, I love her. I'm obsessed with her and can't wait to see her get big. I hope the variegation stays, and I have a beautiful elbow Regal shields to show you guys one day. But yeah, hands down, she's probably my favorite like obsession right now. And then obviously I love like the ones that I showed you. I love all of my alocasia, and it's crazy how many new alocasia I've gotten recently, you guys. Like, it's insane. I've just been super into alocasia lately. Like I said, I don't know what's come over me, but I'm excited for them all. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I could show you some of the plants that I've been loving lately. And I didn't get a chance to film a walkthrough. I've been so busy. So I'm hoping to do that in the next week or so. Between like potting up, making plants, and watering, it's taking like all of my time. I feel like the plant room, there's just so much to do on my to-do list in here, like potting up, like chopping plants, repotting. There's so much to do. So I'm hoping to take some time off here where I can get a lot of stuff done. I might do that soon, and I still want to paint in that other room. So I'm going to need some time to do that, but we'll see how it goes. I feel like summer is just a busy month in general with the amount of like plant care and watering to keep up with and everything. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, I'll film the update soon here and some alocasia care. Probably a lot of alocasia care, I'm not gonna lie. And we'll see what else I take you along for. But thank you so much for your support as always, and I will see you in the next one.